one of my longtime friends. We've been friends for over 10 years at this point. We've argued Giants for numbers of years now. We're going to do a little precursor. I'm not going to spoil it, but something coming up. You're going to be back on the show. My longtime friend, Nick Santelli. How are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great, man. What's going on?
We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it, though. The New York Giants. You're a Giants fan? I gave you the credit of being a Giants fan for a long time. We've had debates on Daniel Jones before. Just a couple years ago before the season started, we were debating Daniel Jones' top 10 quarterback. Now the season completely fell on its ass. But I want to know, though. You got Malik Nabers. You drafted the guy who a lot of people thought they would if they're not going to go quarterback. They could not trade back with the Patriots. What do you think that... Actually, hold on. Before I do that, I want to bring up a quote from Devin Singletary, your brand new running back after losing Saquon, because this is ridiculous. He goes on Ty Dunn on his Go Long podcast. He goes, quote, "I'm coming to show you week in and week out how I put it on the line for my guys on the left and right of me. I'm going to go all out every time. You're going to get the most out of me every time. They'll find out soon enough. Stay tuned." This is your new running back, Devin Singletary, coming over from the Texans, also previously on the Buffalo Bills. What are you expecting from the Giants in 2024?
Tank for a quarterback.
Tank?
That's probably what's going to happen. Daniel Jones is not the answer. If anybody thinks Daniel Jones is the answer, they're delusional. It's year 6. This guy's injury prone. Listen, I was high on Daniel Jones because of what I saw. And I wanted to. I was trying to. I didn't want to give up faith, but I had to. No more than 5 wins, I'm going to say. Top 5 pick. Jalen Milroe is my guy. That's my guy. Obviously depends on the season, but Jalen Milroe is my guy.
Really?
That's my guy. Depends on how he plays this season, obviously. But Jalen Milroe, that's what I want as the next Giants quarterback behind center.
Really? Not Carson Beck, Georgia. Not Shedeur Sanders, Colorado. You're going with Jalen Milroe, Alabama.
I want the rushing upside, but Shedeur Sanders is not going to be good, and he's going to request $100 million a year.
Well, actually, you know what's funny? Deion Sanders recently said he's going to pull an Eli Manning. So my guess is he won't even allow Shedeur to go to the Giants. He's probably looking at. I think you've already heard this. He wants to go to a warm weather team. So the Giants probably won't even get Shedeur anyway. So Jalen Milroe.
Yeah,
that kind of.
I'm fine with Carson Beck, but that's my top pick because the rush. I don't think Carson Beck has any rushing upside. I didn't really watch him play, but he's kind of just a Joe Burrow type player. Very
interesting. I want to know your defensive front. I've gotten grilled by saying the Giants are not going to be very good. Yes, maybe initial when you go win-loss and you get your feeling about it. The initial front for me was 2-15. You look at it again, you realize who they draft, and it's like, okay, Malik Nabers, we got to figure out how they gel with one another. You've been big on their offensive line and defensive lines. Which one are you more confident in? Your brand new offensive line or just the acquisition of Brian Burns on your D-line?
D-line, 1,000%. That O-line, it's still got a lot of question marks. Evan Neal somehow still debatably in that lineup. That guy is a cancer to the team.
Well, actually,
needs to flip burger somewhere.
That's crazy. Well, I will say this, though. Currently on ESPN's depth chart, you got Jermaine Illuminor starting over Evan Neal.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
You got Andrew Thomas, John Runyon, you got your JMS, and you also got Greg Van Roten. I think he came, from the Raiders last year, and then Illuminor, who also just came from the Raiders. So, yeah, I think it's right that you're trusting your defensive line much more. But you're thinking that on big-time picture. Big-time picture. You said 5-12 is the ceiling for you guys?
I mean, listen, I'm never going to count out my Giants, all right? But I think realistic expectation is no more than 5 wins. If we can make it to maybe 8, 9, I'll be happy. But honestly, it's only delaying the inevitable, I think. So I'm hoping for highest pick, get a quarterback, and then maybe compete.
Well, the really only opportunities you have just based on the strength of your schedule. You're currently favorites against you're 1-point underdogs against the Minnesota Vikings. Your favorites against Washington, Carolina. That's it. Washington, Carolina, you're only 2. Washington at home, obviously. But the other ones that could be close. Bucks, only +1. Saints, only +1. Indy, only +2. And I'll include Minnesota there as well. So if you win, again, we're looking at 6 wins could potentially be your ceiling just based on the closeness. I guess you could say, albeit, I've ripped on Daniel Jones. He does well against Washington when healthy, and not when Dexter Lawrence gets a bad penalty and you guys tie. He does well. I believe he's actually undefeated against, or he doesn't have a loss against Washington.
Yeah, I think he's like 7-1 tie or something like that. 7-0-1 or something like that.
You think Dexter Lawrence for that? We were actually watching the game together when that happened. So I think the ceiling, if Daniel Jones doesn't suck, is 7 wins. That's the ceiling. Realistically, you're looking at 4 to 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I also think Daniel Jones will probably be benched maybe like week 5 or 6 for Tommy DeVito or Drew Lock if healthy.
You're still wrong, because I know that we've had this conversation before about Tommy. You're seriously saying Tommy DeVito this season over Drew Lock?
I mean, I didn't really get to see much of Drew Lock. He had like 5 plays and hurt his hip or something like that. That's preseason. But that one drive last year in Seattle kind of might have sold me a little bit. So we'll see. I just can't see that man. It's been 6 years. I need someone new. I'm over it.
Well, I think Giants fans as well, although I still get hate for saying that Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I'll also say this on your offensive line. We always get Dan Jones had a horrible offensive line, and then they talk about 2022. Your offensive line was largely the same as it was last year. You had Evan Neal still starting. Yes, you had a rookie, but the rookie was the lowest graded center last year, so you can't say that he was an upgrade. So your offensive line kind of looked the same as it did in 23. Daniel Jones just performed worse. And also, if I'm not mistaken, your wide receiver core also looked the same. So,
yeah.
Is it just Daniel Jones?
I really do think that Cowboys game, when that kick got blocked, that just kind of deflated everybody's ego last season. That just ruined everything. Also, I think the line might have just like shot the bed. I don't know. Or Evan Neal just decided I'm going to play for the other team now. But
I mean, you look at that preseason, he just steps to the side and just lets the defenders run right by him. No, it is an ugly look for your Giants. So you're going 5-12 is your official record, Cole?
Yeah. I'll say 5-12, 4-13, around there.
All right, let's see how much hate you get in the comments for that one. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.